Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here and you enjoy this series, make sure to subscribe to my channel, leave a like on this video, and share it with your friends so they can also learn along with you. In today's video, we're going to focus on getting guild statistics from our Discord bot, displaying them on the front end, and learning how to protect front-end routes so only authenticated users can access them. This is going to be a very practical video, and by the end of it, you'll understand both the back-end and front-end steps clearly. So let's get started. Open your project in Visual Studio Code, and let's begin coding. The first step is to get some simple guild statistics from our Discord bot. Once we have those statistics, we will display them in the front end as a simple card component. But before that, let's take care of the backend. Inside the folder backend/src/routes, create a new file named guild.js. To save time, we can copy the structure from the existing user.js file and then adjust it for our needs. So let's quickly copy and paste the code from user.js into our new file. Now, change every instance of user router to guild router. In the URL definition, replace the current route with /guild_id/stats. Inside the function, remove everything inside the block for now. We only want to get the guild ID and return a very simple message back. To get the guild ID, create a new constant variable named guild ID and assign it the value reqparams.guildid. One important note here. You can name this variable anything you like, but you must also update every reference to match that name. For the return message, you can write something like, "This is the guild stats route. Guild ID, $guild ID." If you want to keep your file clean, don't forget to remove any unused imports. Save the file when you're done. Now let's add this route into our index.js file. Copy down the line where the user route is defined. Instead of /user, replace it with /guild. And instead of user router, change it to guild router. Import the router at the top, save the file, and that's it. Now let's test the route we just created. Open a new terminal, move into the backend folder, and start the server. In your browser, go to /API/guild/123456789 and you should see a message that includes the guild ID you passed. As you can see, it shows the exact message we returned, along with the same ID from the URL. Perfect. Now let's make this more useful by actually fetching some real guild statistics from the Discord bot. Create a new variable named guild. This variable will hold the guild object itself. We can get the guild by using the Discord client, so write bot.guilds.cache.get guild ID. Inside res.json, return the statistics you want. I'll paste the code on the screen so you can pause the video and copy it down. All right, now that we've finished the back end, let's move on to the front end. We need a new hook that will fetch guild stats. Inside the hooks folder, create a new file named guild.js. To save time again, copy the code from user.js in the same folder and paste it into guild.js. Rename the function to useGuildStats. This hook will take guild ID as a parameter, which we'll later use in the URL. Update the query key to include guild ID. This is very important because Tanstack query needs to know that the data belongs to a specific guild. Now update the URL from /API/user/guilds to /API/guild/$guildid/stats. If you want, you can also rename the variable returned from the query. Personally, I rename it to Q, short for query, so I don't have to keep rewriting different variable names for each query. Save the file, and now our hook is ready to be used. Next, let's protect our front-end routes so that unauthenticated users cannot access pages that require login. Open main.jsx. We're going to add a new function component called app. The reason we need this is because we want to use a hook provided by Clerk, and Clerk hooks cannot be used outside of a React component. So let's create the function just above the root element variable. Cut everything inside query client provider and move it into the return statement of the app component. Then, in root.render, wrap it with the app component. Import the useauth hook from clerk and use it inside our app. We'll provide the authentication variable as part of the context for the router provider component. Make sure to add auth as a new value in the context object. Don't forget to save the file before moving forward. Now let's move to dashboard/index.jsx. Just above the component, add a before load function. This function will check if the user has a valid token from clerk. If they do, the user is considered logged in. If not, they will be redirected back to the home page. With this setup, we can protect all of our routes by following the same pattern. Now let's create a new folder inside dashboard named $guild-id. The $sign here tells Tanstack router that this will be a dynamic value. This means that anything we pass in the URL will be available as the guild ID inside our code. Inside this folder, create a file called index.jsx. Now our URL will look like /dashboard/123, and whenever we visit that path, we'll see the stats for the corresponding guild. Copy the before load code we wrote earlier and paste it into this new file as well, so the page is protected. Remember to import the redirect function from Tanstack router. Rename the component if you want. For me, I'll call it guild page. Inside the function, import the guild stats hook that we created earlier. Destructure two things from it, data and is loading. Now, we need to pass the guild ID into this hook. To get the guild ID, we'll use the useparams hook from Tanstack router. Destructure guild ID from useparams and add the option strict, false. Pass this guild ID into the guild stats hook. Below that, write a simple if statement to check if the data is still loading. If it is, display a simple div with the text loading. To make the code cleaner, I'll also assign a short nickname to the data, like GS, so it's easier to use. Next, I'll paste in some design code that displays the guild stats. Pause the video and write it down so you can follow along. Here we're using a simple card component. Inside the card, I've added a flex class. It contains two main elements, one image and another section for the guild stats. I've also added some responsive classes to make sure it looks good on smaller screens and mobile devices. Of course, you can redesign this however you like, or even add more detailed guild information. For the purpose of this video, I'm keeping it simple. But in reality, there are endless possibilities, and you can add as much as you want. Below the stats, I've added a link component so users can easily go back to the server list and choose another guild. And under that, I've also placed some buttons that will lead to different plugins we'll create in future videos. For example, a message sender, a ticketing system, forms, and many more. All right, that's it for today's video. In this video, we learned how to fetch and display guild statistics and how to protect front-end routes so only logged-in users can access them. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this video and if you're enjoying this series so far. Also, suggest new topics or features you would like to see covered in upcoming videos. You can join my Discord server using the link in the description if you want to be part of the community. Make sure to give this video a like, as it really motivates me to keep creating more content. And if you're new here, please subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future episodes. That's all for today. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.